Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Reddit Asks Us. Now, before we head into the show, I got a few things to say. So, welcome to the show. This is the show where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. I am your host, Luke Dick. And remember, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and to subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating, and also please leave us a review. You can find full, uncut versions of the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the podcast platforms, where you can hear bonus stories, comments, and reactions from myself. But with that said, without further ado, let's get into this week's episode, all my beautiful friends from the internet. So this week we've got an interesting one. It's, what's the smallest amount of internet fame/clout that you've seen go to someone's head? I feel like celebrity in and of itself fascinates me as a concept because, evolutionarily speaking, biologically speaking, and psychologically speaking, humans are really only meant to be in groups of about 150 to 250 people. That's pretty much, at least that's what I understand to be the limitation of like the Rolodex of people we can keep at our immediate sort of knowledge of all the people that we know. And fame is this weird sort of thing because it completely distorts this relationship that we would typically have with other people. We would normally not really interact. If you're famous, like, you wouldn't normally interact with that many people and have all of these people know who you are and feel like they have this like personal connection to you, but you don't know them at all, which is just an interesting thing. And it's interesting to see how that goes to people's heads. There have been celebrity like freakouts over the years where people have just been like, you can't tell me this, I'm blah, 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 and I've been doing this and this and this. And then people are just like, well, this is reality. Like, I mean, I don't claim to, this is not this person. This is not this person at all. But folks, it has happened where, you know what, let me just speak from personal experience. This isn't like a fame thing, but this is just an ignorance thing. And I feel like this plays on to that fame thing on many levels. So I remember this one time I was in Toronto with my mom, and we were sightseeing, and we went to go watch a basketball game. And I remember we went up to the CN Tower, and as we're waiting in line, like, you have to go through a security check almost as if you were at the airport. And as we're going through the security check, I look over, and the security guard is like checking this woman's bag, and he pulls out this little pink square, this little small pink thin sort of square looking thing. And he kind of looks at it, and it's got these stickers on it, and of unicorns and stars and stuff. And he's kind of like, what the hell is this? And so then he kind of examines it, and then this lady's like, oh yeah, that's just my taser. And I'm kind of standing there like, what the fuck? Like, what? Like, did you seriously just bring a taser? Like, if for most of my American listeners and listeners from around, tasers are illegal in Canada. Like, as a citizen, like, you are not allowed to own a taser. Like, that's a prohibited weapon in this country. And so she's like, oh yeah, that's just my taser. We're allowed to have those in America. Great, America's right over there. If you want that to be legal, America's just right across the bridge. So if you want to head over to America where that's legal, that's cool. But here in this country, that's a felony. And I'm pretty sure they called the police. Like, I don't know if this woman got arrested, or I'm sure the police probably came and were like, this woman's not a threat. They just probably confiscated the taser, but because they had to stay behind, we went up to the tower, and it was just funny. But it's things like that, right? It's this, and that happens in levels of celebrity too, where these people have these, like, these ignorances and elevated egos because of their particular position. And I don't want to harp on Americans. That could happen to anybody. There are things that you can do in lots of other countries that you can't do in others, but it's that same sort of principle, right? Is some people think that they're above the status quo, above the law, and they can just do whatever they want because of who they are. or rather, who they think they are. So this first one comes from FEOK. I made a fairly successful MySpace type quiz once. Over 1 million people took it. I put that on my resume. Then we got a reply from Earn Brew Dependent. Ashamed to admit it, but I once created skins for Bebo and layouts for MySpace, and one did quite well. When I was applying for colleges at the time, I wrote in and said I had experience with writing HTML and was self-taught. Basically, I just copied someone else's code and changed the HTML the same way everyone did, but they bought it, and I was accepted. I'm struggling to think like what would you even put on your MySpace page? Like you're on your resume, like about your MySpace page. Like, I created really popular type quiz type thing on MySpace that over 1 million people used. I struggled to see like how an employer might just be like, well, this one candidate here, he does have experience writing MySpace quizzes, so I think we might have to go with him. You know, you just never know the potential of somebody who can write a quiz for MySpace. I don't want to sound like I'm hating here. MySpace, I don't know much about MySpace at all. That shit was long gone by the time that I started using social media, so I have no idea. This next one comes from Noreen Holman. It sounds like that's a very like normal Reddit username. It sounds like someone's real name. My friend's family immigrated from the USSR. He was born and raised in the U.S. and went into the military. After some time in the service, like everyone else, gets a ton of participation ribbons. Those ribbons would get to his head. He would walk around and dress in uniform when he was off duty, and people would walk up to him and thank him for his service. Never mind that the only time he saw bullets flying was in training. One day, he decides to visit his grandparents and dress in uniform. His grandfather looks at him and said, "Son, I fought in Stalingrad to Berlin and got 1 ribbon. How many planets did you have to invade to get all those ribbons?" He never wore his dress uniform out in public ever again. This just gives me you're disrespecting a future U.S. Army soldier vibes. Like, I'm really hope that you guys have seen that video, but it's this video of the kid and he's like this. I don't know what some other kid said to him, but the kid is just like, yeah, you're disrespecting a future U.S. Army soldier. It's like, okay, I could say I'm a future anything. You're disrespecting a future Mars colonist, okay? So I'd watch your tone, boy. I'd watch your tone when you talk to me. You're disrespecting a future discover of life on extraterrestrial planets. Yeah, so yeah. Guess what? In 30 years, I'm going to come back and find you. Exactly. And you're going to wish you never said those things to me because I got all this power in the future, though. But that's the thing, is that the future is now, okay? So, yeah, apologize. Yeah, that's what I thought. Bitch. The worst part is like, I just can't get over the fact that, like, people were going up to him and being like, thank you for your service. And he's just like, yeah, thank me for my service. Like, oh, I love being thanked for my service. Like, what is this? Like, why? How could you even accept that compliment, knowing full well that you didn't even do anything? You didn't defend anyone. The biggest thing, or the most important thing that you defended was your flag and capture the flag in like a U.S. Army paintball game. Like the biggest thing that you defended was the blow up doll in the back, and I'm sure that guy got sniped too. Like, I can't get over the fact that like how easily that ego goes to and especially because something about the military too. People like the military because it's like power, right? Like you have the ability to like hold all these big guns and, you know, drive a tank or, you know, and have this power. So it just goes to people's head and it's like, you know, bro, you better watch the way that you talk to me, bro. You don't have access to a tank, right? Like, you know what? You don't have access to a tank, bro. And you know I've got these ribbons and medals, dude. Like, you think I won these for nothing? Bro, like, I'm a decorated U.S. Army soldier in training. But for real though, like I still have access to a tank, so I could literally come and blow your house up. I could literally come and destroy your house. Is that what you want? Yeah, I wouldn't disrespect a future US military general, okay? Like I'm literally a future CIA co-op covert agent. So I would watch the way that you speak to me, okay? Cuz like in 20 years time, I'm going to covertly do an op on your house and annihilate your family for US security breach reasons, okay? So you better better watch it. You better watch it, okay? So future comes fast. This next one comes from Fascinated with Fire. I entered a blog competition to my uni the summer before I started. I won, and myself and 2 others were given a free laptop on the understanding that we'd keep publishing blogs as insiders for the uni to use as a marketing tool. I put up one a week and enjoyed it. They were decently entertaining and linked to on the uni website, but probably got no more than a few dozen reads. But on my birthday, a few months into the year, at the bouncers at a club wouldn't let me in as I appeared too drunk. I got into a pedantic argument with them about whether the pavement was public property or not, and then shouted at them I was going to write about it in my uni-sanctioned blog. I woke up hungover the next day and did not write about the incident in my uni-sanctioned blog. Like, I don't even understand what's the point of this. What's the point of the sidewalk being public property? Oh, it's probably just like they're just like, yeah, buddy, you're too drunk. You gotta leave. You know what? This sidewalk's actually public property, so I can. This is like a park. This is a park, so I'm chilling in a park, so I can just be here. Okay. So if you want to kick me out of public park, then call the cops, because this is a place where people. What is this? This is discrimination, okay? People can do what they want. What is wrong with you? You're discriminating me because of alcohol in my system? Okay, this is like a precedent, okay? I'm gonna take you to fucking court. Alright, I'm gonna fucking sue your fucking ass, alright? This is a sidewalk that's public, okay? You know what? You think you're all big and tough right now? You think you're super big and tough and stuff? I am gonna write about this in my uni-sanctioned blog, okay? You don't even know what's gonna hit you in the morning, okay? Right, guys? I have the blog still, right? Yeah, I've got the blog. Just wait till you see your name and your photo on the blog, okay? It's uni-sanctioned, okay? And I'm going to talk about how this is a violation of my rights. Here's a fundamental violation of my rights. People never go to this business ever again. That's what I thought. Now let me in. I just want to party. Come on, I'm just trying to party. Pukes all over the bouncer's shoes. This next one comes from Anastasia Shepard. Again, another very real sounding name. This is very unorthodox for Reddit. I worked for a company that books luxury travel. Think $20,000 packages. A woman contacted us wanting a free trip in exchange for posting it on her blog, proudly proclaiming that she had 800 followers. My coworker's dog photo account has more followers. Then we have a reply from AU Uncirculated. Influencers like that are insufferable. Reminds me of a story about an influencer who wanted a small business to send her all their expensive clothes in return for exposure to her 100K followers on Instagram. The business said they can give her a promo code instead, and if 1,000 of her followers use it within a month, then they could talk about a future deal. Only a few people ended up using the code. This is the mirage of social media, my friends. This is the impact that social media has over the regular person's perception of what their life is like. Like, this is a delusional state. You've got to be delusional to be like, yeah, actually I have 800 followers. So this luxury travel package and everything, if you really actually want to help your business, then you would sell, like, just basically give it to me for free, because I have, like, trust me, my followers are so dedicated and they are very well connected. So if you don't give me this trip, then you can expect some bad reviews on your business and you'll probably go under. So Yeah, you need to give me all of what you have for trips available for the next year. Make sure I'm on every single one of them, and I want first class seats. Okay, I don't want any of the cheap economy seats. All right, I want to sit first class, and I want the private section of the resort. Trust me, this is worth the 800 followers. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Man, and you know what's the weird thing is, like, I feel like I've actually met a couple of these people in real life, and I seriously can't speak to them for longer than a couple minutes because I just get mentally exhausted. Like, I'm just like, what's the point? Like, what even is it? What does that feel good? Like, I feel like, how could it possibly feel good? You're trying to, it's delusional. It's just delusional. You're trying to convince yourself of your importance and your and your self-worth based on other people. You know, one of the reasons why I feel like I've been doing this podcast for so long is because I don't really care what other people think, and I'm not really making the content, you know, for people. I'm making the content because I enjoy it, and I hope people who listen to it enjoy it out of genuine. Like, what can you possibly post as like a travel influencer that hasn't been done like a million times? And let's be real, the most influential travel influencers are people who legitimately like know the business and know the industry and actually like can give a worthwhile opinion, not just people who go to resorts and say it was good or bad. Or they're models. They're just models. Like, they'll just post a photo of them at this hotel, and there you go. Now you have a giant people who already have a giant following because of another thing, not specifically travel blogging, but some of these models might as well be travel bloggers. Like, they're just models. They're just beautiful people who have large followings who basically, if they tell their followers to do something, they'll do it. Let's be real. 800 followers? I mean, I don't want to take away from your success, but you might need to bump those numbers up before you might get some free hotel stays for $20,000. This next one comes from Zaylee Leah. A new local TV anchor woman was trying to pay for her dinner at a restaurant with a check. Restaurant doesn't take checks. It's posted all over the front door when she walked through. She stands up and starts screaming at the waitress, "Do you know who I am?" The waitress says no and walks off to get her manager. She didn't get to pay with a check. 2 weeks later, the same anchor woman comes into the department store I worked at. She has a mound of clothes in her arms and throws them on the counter and asks what kind of discount she gets for being a local celebrity. My coworker tells her such thing does not exist. She pushes the pile of clothes off the counter and tells my coworker that she needs to learn how to treat the upper class better. Oh my God. She's not our local TV anchor woman anymore. Listen, there are a couple things to break down. Number one, if you're this big famous TV anchor, why are you paying by a check? Like, I don't think I know anybody who has ever paid for anything in real life with a check before. Unless it's like I don't know, you're buying like a car or something off Kijiji. Like, and even then, it's like you go to the bank and do like a wire transfer. Like, when is paying with checks like a normal thing to do? Like, is that common practice in places in the United States, is to pay for things with a check? I feel like that just feels like so it feels shady. Like, it feels like, yeah. So how much was the bill again? $2,346 and 42 cents, sir. Yeah. And so that was how many lobsters? It seems here that you ordered lobsters for everyone in the restaurant, which, you know, it does amount to quite a bit. Do you guys take checks? Just a check, you know? How about a check, right? Because a check has got a buffer zone, right? A check's got this like weird, you know, time dilation sort of thing where, you know, there's or time span or whatever, so you can write the check and then just literally ditch, and then if it bounces, like, never go to the restaurant ever again. Like, who pays with the check? Especially if you're like this big famous celebrity. Like, why are you paying with the check? Next of all, if you're at the clothing store and you have to tell people that you're a local celebrity, then odds are you're not a local celebrity. It amazes me. Oh my God. This, especially when this happens with people on the radio, it's like, do I get the discount? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you work for the company, or are you affiliated with the company in any sort of way? I'm affiliated with being a fucking celebrity. So, where's my discount? As far as I know, we don't do celebrity discounts. But might I ask, you're a celebrity? Where from? What type of thing do you do? Do you not recognize my voice? No, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm on the radio, obviously. I read out the 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. User submitted stories on the radio about people's weeks and how they were. Do you not recognize my voice? My slot's like 3 times a week. See, I don't know if you know this, but see, I'm 20, and I don't listen to the radio. I listen to this little thing called Spotify, where I can choose what I listen to, So, have you ever been on a podcast or anything? Oh, podcasts? Are you seriously going to bring up podcasting with me right now? Podcasting is killing the industry. There you go. What is up with these people? What is up with these people? These people are so disconnected from reality. And like, if you're a big celebrity again, also, shouldn't you have money to pay for things with your fame and glory? If you make all this money and have all this recognition, why do you need discounts? It seems kind of backwards to me. Why should somebody who is supposed to have all this fame and notoriety, why do you want a discount? Isn't that kind of bad for your image? That you are of this high status. You're this upperclassman. You're part of the upper class, yet you need discounts when you buy stuff? Seems kind of sussy to me. Seems a little sussy baka to me. This next one comes from Fart Attack 911. A guy from a hometown who was sort of a skis-ball helped some elderly folks escape from a fire. The act itself was commendable. He deserved the recognition he received in local media, and he went viral for a week or two. But 5 years after the fact, he was still using that as a way to get out of tickets or being cut off at local bars after refusing to pay tabs. My brother encountered his Instagram recently, and his self-description says something like unspoken hero, DM for details. LMAO. Oh my God. See, this is the spectrum of people that just amuses me to the fullest degree. How could you possibly be somebody who's gonna save somebody, but then use it for personal gain? Like, this just is like, it's so backwards. Like, it's so opposite of why you would ever do something helpful at all. It's like, yeah, sorry, I'll restart this. Sir, do you know why I pulled you over today? I can't say, officer. Well, you see, this whole strip of road here is actually a school zone, and you were going at least 30 kilometers over the school zone, so I'm going to have to give you a ticket for this. Officer. Officer. You must not know who I am, do you? Am I supposed to? Well, officer, I hate to burst your little bubble there, but did you clearly not see me picking up trash on the side of the road like 2 days ago? I was doing Good Samaritan duties. I had the little poker stick and everything. So, you know. You know. You know what? I think I do remember you. Yeah, you were number 596, orange jumpsuit. Oh, fuck. Yeah, there was some real community service that you were doing there. Some real quality community service. God damn it. I thought I sort of recognized you. Yeah, and that's going to be a $600 fine. So you can pay that whenever. You know, I'm sure that your community service will allow you to, you know, come up with the money really quick. It's tough. It's really tough. It's really tough for the folks, man. I feel bad for these people who go out of their way to do these heroic acts. And then when they brag about them to other people, they just don't get the recognition that they're just itching to have. It blows my mind, folks. How can you even do something so nice and yet expect a recognition and rewards from that, from just being a good Samaritan? This next one comes from Elsa Alex. In college, a girl I knew was elected student body vice president. She almost instantaneously became the most insufferable person I've ever met, complaining about the plight of having the lives of 20,000 people rest in her hands. She would use it to try and get better service at restaurants. It was like something out of a comedy. We stopped being friends with her. This is the thing too, like student body presidents, like, isn't your job just to like communicate what students are saying about the campus to the faculty and staff? Like, I don't see, like, it is the biggest stretch of the imagination to say that you have 20,000 lives resting in your hands. 20,000 lives? Who are you, Superman? What are you talking about? 20,000 lives? You have no correlation with these people's lives whatsoever, like the fate of their lives. The student body president, I hate to break it to you, it's not that important of a job. You know, like it is, I'm sure it has some importance and sway, and I'm sure there are decisions that you get to make that do ultimately have a decent impact on the student body. But you don't have 20,000 lives in your hands. Yeah, I actually ordered the shrimp. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll take that right back. That's totally our bad. We'll fix that right up for you. Yeah, you better, because if I don't have shrimp on my plate in the next 10 seconds, the fate of 20,000 people rests in my hands. You do not understand the fate of the lives of these people. The waitress goes to the back and she's all like, yeah, so I got her I brought her the wrong shrimp meal, and she said that the fate of 20,000 people rest in her hands. Is she gonna kill these people if she doesn't get the shrimp? Who is she talking about? Is this a bomb threat? Should we call the police? Manager's all like, yeah, we need to call the police. We've had this person in here before. They've threatened 20,000 lives, and we have to act on this. You know, it's prevention. It's prevention of a giant crime. Okay, we know she's gonna do something. She's been plotting this and planning this. This isn't the first time she's come in here and threatened this. We have to take proactive action against this. SWAT team breaks down the door. Get on the fucking ground. You're gonna kill 20,000 people. No, I just have their lives in my hand. It's just a different thing. It's a totally different. Yeah, welcome to 20 years in prison for threatening the lives of 20,000 people. Watch what you say. Words matter. The last one comes here from Aztatin0. There's a kid I work with who's, I believe, 7 years old, and he's a YouTube influencer. By that, I mean the kid's parents made a YouTube channel that follows the same format as stuff like Ryan's World. Got lucky with one video that got around 10,000 views. All of their others barely have 100. It immediately went to their head. This kid's dad refers to himself as the manager, and answers questions on the kids' behalf. They hand out business cards with all of their social media info, and they even got the kid's name legally changed to the name he uses on YouTube. The worst part is the kid seems indifferent at best to all of this. It's 100% his parents pushing it on him. All right, who's ready for dinner, Lego Man 00194? Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you're ready for this beautiful dinner. Remember to post it on social media. Remember to post it on Instagram. We're live streaming dinner on Twitch, everybody. We're live streaming dinner on Twitch. So if you want to tune into our lovely family dinner on Twitch, we'll be and also streaming it through YouTube as well. So we'll be streaming our dinner. We're going to have a lovely dinner tonight. Lego Man 4490 is going to be eating SpaghettiOs. Okay, it's SpaghettiO night, everybody. I know this is a crazy night. It's a crazy night. And his father and I might, if you're lucky, might have a glass of wine, okay? So things might get a little crazy, might get a little insane, might just get a little nuts. Oh, it's so excited. Bro, what kind of parent do you have to be to legally change your child's name to a YouTube username? Like, my Reddit username is Take Me to the Zoo. Could you imagine if my name was Take Me to the Zoo Dick? What the fuck? I would hate my parents for the rest of my life. I would hate my parents for the rest of their lives. I would hate my entire existence. What's the point? At that point, you have to know at some point that you exist as a commodity. You're not even a person anymore. Like, in your parents' eyes, you're just this thing that creates attention. People are so insane. Like, especially because they have, like, the one video there that has, like, 10,000 views. I don't know when this person's video was posted, but, like, 10,000 views is really not much to be proud of on these days on YouTube. Like, it's great, but if you're 10,000 views is, like, for one video if you're averaging 10,000 views, that's a different thing. If you got one video with 10,000 views, then I hate to say it, but I don't really think that Mr. Lego Man there is a social media influencer. A 7-year-old, too. What the hell does a 7-year-old even know about social media? Like, do you even have the capacity to understand, like what even a social media influencer is? Like, this is just gonna colossally fuck up this child's life. This child's life is fucked. Like, it is so down in the gutter. Like, I feel terrible for these kids, man. Legally changing your name? That is so sad. My heart goes out to these kids, man. Every single time I've seen something on YouTube or on TV or anywhere really that is talking about parents who's, like, commodified their children, the children always end up despising their parents. They just can't even be around them. They hate them because they don't even see them as people. They're a currency. They're a social currency. They use them for clout. Oh my God, these clout chasing parents, everybody. Clout chasing parents. With that said, let's head out of the show. So, thank you so much for tuning in to Reddit Asks Us. Remember, this is the show where we read and react to comments from r/AskReddit. I am your host, Luke Dick. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and to subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating, and also please leave us a review. You can find us on, You can find full clips, full unedited versions of the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcast, where you can hear bonus stories, reactions, and comments read from myself. And without further ado, I will see y'all next week. Peace out.